What is going on, everybody? Hope you are having a wonderful week. Um, Before we start, I have a new record out called The Hymn. Go check it out on Spotify. Also, if you're listening to this, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Give us some comments in the comment section or wherever you're listening or watching this from. And now it's time for podcast. Chris Lake, don't really need to give him much introduction. Had an insane career over the years, and especially in the last 6 years, it's kind of gone to extreme levels. Good friend of mine and great person. Loved this podcast. It was like super chilled. Yeah, without further ado, Chris Lake. And we are live. How's it going, mate?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I just did a podcast about an hour ago, and Detroit's getting like really fucking hot today. Like we're at like 35 degrees, and my studio doesn't have AC in, so I'm just like sweating.
Studio.
Yeah, it's fucking
it's cold
hot.
then, though.
It was cold when you came in, wasn't it?
Is
like,
it good to be back?
Yeah, there's like no extremes. There's no like middle ground here, though. It's like either cold as fuck or really hot. It's just not the best. Yeah, is
it good to be back?
It's interesting to be back. There's like pros and cons to it, right? It's great because I'm working again and we're back touring, which is obviously, I'm sure you're in the same situation. It's the best feeling ever.
Sure.
But then it's also that I'm not spending time with my family that I've spent for the last year and a half, and like didn't actually get to see any of my mates in the UK because of COVID and all of that. But hey, it's like the things you got to do as a DJ.
Yeah, I mean it's surprising. It's like I guess most people didn't expect for the amount of time that we would have to spend away from our normal lives and routines. It was all for such a long period. It felt like a couple of months. We'll add a couple of months on. We'll add a couple of months on. Add a couple of months on. Before you realize that you're a year and a half deep into a new routine, doing all of these new things, and it's like it's not just an adjustment to getting back to what life used to be, but it's an adjustment from leaving the life that we've just been in for a year and a half.
Exactly. And I don't know about you, but like I somehow got really busy in lockdown just doing other shit. And like just say for instance like the podcast, like I'm doing this like twice a week, and like then adding that into the schedule of writing music and touring and doing everything else is just like, and other thing, I started like a cooking show, like just like loads of little stupid things that you kind of add to your diary because you got all this free time. And then you're like, how do I now have to fit all of that into my schedule that was slammed beforehand? But it's first world problems. It's the best thing to have. Like being busy is great.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. You'll figure out. I guess you'll figure out which ones of those things are the most important to you that you're going to fit into your time.
Totally.
So this might be the last podcast you ever do.
Yeah. Fucking last one. Game over. Cheers, Chris. Number 71. We're out. What about you? How's life with you?
Well, I feel like I'm back into the swing of things now. To a point, I'm back in the swing of things. Touring is less of a how do I put this? I have less apprehension about the touring now.
Yeah.
It felt really weird. It felt really weird for me, the thought of going back to shows, being around people, and entertaining people, and being a focal point of attention in a room.
Yeah.
As well, it's like it's just little things. I found that a little bit weird.
It's kind of overwhelming as well, isn't it? It's like everything relies on you to bring out the best A game, and especially now, it's like at this moment in time, it's a lot of people's first shows back. Especially you were touring a bit earlier than some of us, And
yeah,
some of your first shows were people's first shows back ever for like a year
and
and
it
a
really
half.
felt that way.
Yeah, I bet.
I think that it did add to the pressure a little bit, but it was, look, it's not the hardest thing in the world. I'm not trying to make out like this is some really major problem, but it was, I do take it seriously that it's, I play a part in giving people memories. Like, these nights end up being major parts of people's memories in their lives. And a first show back after a major event, it's not just a major event for me, it's a major event for other people.
Yeah.
And I take that seriously. And when you're out of practice, when you're a little bit unsure about what you bring into the table, how fluid you feel with like your skills,
and how to use a mixer that you've never used before, because it's
little things like this that I found I found a little bit strange. Then on top of that comes in the classic, I'd call it overthinking of an artist. I've been off for a year and a half. You know this. We've spoken before this podcast. I've not worked really. I haven't done a lot of studio work. I've not been that active in general as an artist. I've had family stuff to deal with. So, and that is what it is. And that can't be changed. But the reality is, I'm not like, I'm not coming into these shows with like
an ammunition.
Just the most unbelievable array of music that I've produced that I'm so proud to show the world. I think a lot of people would be shocked at how little I have. It's just like, and that adds to my stress, because I know that people have an expectation that I'm going to be making lots of records, trying out new things, hearing lots of new stuff, and I just didn't feel like I was bringing a lot of that to the table. So that added to a lot of the stress about how it was going to go down. Are people still going to dance to my music? Are people still going to vibe to it? And then before you know it, you stood up, there's 10,000 people, and you're like, oh fuck, I've got to go for it. So
but then also, I think all of that is just self pressure that we put on ourselves. And I don't actually think anyone is thinking that at all in the crowd. They just want to hear your biggest hits. They want to have the best time with their friends and whoever they're with, and party.
Yeah, and you soon realize that after,
totally.
There's just a reality to it. But there's a reality to the things that I'm overthinking before the show. The pressures that we put ourselves under.
How much pressure do you put on yourself on like ticket sales and things like that?
On ticket sales, I do care about it,
because you're doing big shows now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting little notifications from. How do I turn it? There we go. Yeah, I do take it seriously, because again, take the time that we're in right now. There's we know that we haven't DJ'd for a long time. If all the DJs haven't been playing, all the promoters have not been promoting shows, all the equipment companies have not been, all of the auxiliary industries that go around what we do, they've not been working either. I do take it seriously that these shows are big. There's big money involved in putting on these shows. There's big risks. Someone's assuming those risks. I want to do whatever I can to make sure the show's successful for everyone.
Totally.
So that's not just making people dance. It's not just making the people that are there enjoy it. It's just making sure that it works for everyone, that I'm delivering what. This sounds like a really boring chat, but it's true. I take it, I do take it seriously. I don't want people losing money on a show that they put on to book me after 18 months of not making any money.
Well, I think at the end of the day, it actually, if the show was bad, if these shows were bad, then you're not going to be doing shows that big again, and then people are going to be disappointed, and then
that's the other part of it. Yeah. That's the other part of it. It's all, it all plays into the same thing. I don't like to. I don't think the job's done once the booking's confirmed.
No,
And
I always get worried. It's the first thing that I'm like, great, we've got this show headlining this show, and then it's like literally 10 minutes after, it's like, how the fuck are we going to sell all those tickets?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, exactly.
but I guess if you didn't,
This. You know that like this is where you're only as good as the team that's around you,
totally,
and this is where having the expertise of your agent, your manager, and people around you, where they can gauge um, what you're actually capable of
of doing,
of taking on.
yeah,
That's where that's where a lot of the pressure can be taken off. That's where it's key to make the right decisions about what shows you're taking on. You've got a good team around you. You've got a great team around you. I know your team, so
yeah. My manager's better than yours, mate. It's fine.
Love it.
Oh, that's gonna go on forever as well, isn't it? Yeah, man. It's so fun to be back there, isn't it? It's like the best feeling.
It is. It's nice to see. It feels different as well.
Yeah, it does.
You can feel this. You can feel this difference in the energy of people. There's like this. It's like people are letting go in a different way. I feel really in tune with that.
I think for me, I feel like gratitude from so many people as well. Like, because from the people paying to see us, like I feel so like they give off so much like appreciation for us actually doing what we're doing, and kind of I think that's, and like same with promoters, and like I've done shows for promoters that are like so happy now, where you go back 2 years ago, this was just a walk in the park for them, and this is what they did every weekend. And I think
part of the routine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, when Fish and I did the show in Arizona,
was that the first one back?
That was the second one back for me. That was the first one that we did together, and it was a big statement show for sure. It was, because it was the first. I think that was the first major event back in Arizona.
Yeah.
So then, it was one of the first major events back in Western United States.
Yeah,
you could tell because people were traveling like it was the first show back from, in the Western United States. And the thing that shocked me was how visibly emotional people were getting.
Yeah.
There were, I saw maybe 5 people visibly like well up when talking about the shows coming back. And you could tell that you can tell how much it meant to people that they had this opportunity to forget normal life. And this is one of the, I think this can be one of the forgotten parts of nightlife, but this is a huge part of what we do. It's just like it's kind of escapism. It's just like forgetting about everything else.
Yeah, you
being
literally
on the dance floor and forgetting everything. It's almost like it's similar to going to a work when you go and do a workout. When you go and do a workout, you forget. Well, if you're doing it properly, you're forgetting about everything else.
Yeah.
And nightlife should be like that too. And it's a pretty bloody good feeling. And I like contributing to that. I like making people giving them a reprieve from their 9 to 5.
Well, I think that's the thing, is like we all have issues going on in life. We all have things that we don't want to have to think about. Mate, you just spilt your protein shake on your
Actually, dude, holy shit.
Bit of nip juice.
Let me go clean this 2 seconds.
All right, mate. But what I was saying is that it's just amazing to just be back, and have.
Wow, I did a number on me, didn't I?
Yeah, you proper did. Currently waiting for Chris to clean up the protein shake he spilled everywhere.
There we go.
There we go. It's a good look, mate.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, I think we all have issues. We all have things going on in our personal lives and in our work lives and everything, and just being able to have a place to escape and get the fuck out of what we're used to, really, and what we kind of have to deal with every day is kind of perfect.
That's the best thing about it all coming back now, and you can tell that there's just a huge appetite for it. So
I'd love to I'd love to have done like a survey on like how happy people go like before the show, how they like feel like mentally for like maybe like the month before the show, and then what they are like when shows are back for like the next month after, and see actually how much difference it actually made.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it has to have. I mean, there's just no way it's not a positive effect on people. There's just no way. People have too much fun.
Totally.
Too much fun.
How's
maybe too much fun? You know?
Yeah, maybe the hangovers and the come downs the day after aren't.
How did you find your first shows back?
Amazing. The LA show was unreal. Like,
that was Day Trip, right? No, Factory 93.
Yeah, Factory 93. It was like I haven't been nervous for a show like that. The last time I was nervous was when I played Coachella for the first time, Do-Lab stage, and that was like maybe 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 4 years ago. And I was like shitting it then, but this was different nervous. This was just like the first 30 minutes, I don't think I looked up. It was just like straight head down, just do what I do and work out how to use this mixer.
Because you had that internal nerves and fear that if you looked up, you would see something that would throw you into a negative tailspin because you saw that people were not reacting the way that you'd hoped they'd react, and that would just ruin it for you.
Yeah, for me, it was more so because Pioneer sent me a mixer.
Ah, you had the V10 issues.
Yeah, I had the V10 issue. So they sent me the V10.
It's a great mixer, but it's a hell of a learning curve.
Yeah,
it's a completely different style of mixing.
They sent me the mixer, but a week before lockdown, and they sent it to my Detroit address, and obviously I was in the UK. So I was like, oh God. And then they had the 3000s that I'd never even touched.
They're not, the learning curve's not as big on that.
It's pretty quick.
That was more like that's more like the iPadification of the CDJ.
Literally, yeah. Mixes. So I was like, for the first 30 minutes, I was like, I'm just gonna fucking work out how to do everything, and then get my nerves. And then the 30 minutes in, I was like, okay, we're good, and now I can look up and kind of read the crowd and try and enjoy it.
Oh hi!
It's like 5,000 people in front of you, and you're like, "Fuck, how?" But it was great, and we did El Row last weekend in New York, and that was just unbelievable.
That was at the Mirage.
Yeah, it was literally the week after you did Mirage.
Mm-hmm.
How was yours there? I love Mirage. It's probably one of the best venues in America. Yeah,
I mean, I saw some pictures and videos of. I mean, what Elbro does is unbelievable.
It's a proper party, isn't it? And I think that's they've done what I feel kind of was lost a little bit in the industry, where it was kind of turning more and more and more and more about the DJs rather than the actual party side of things. And El Rose came in at the right time and just was like, no, we're just going to throw a party and just make it crazy again.
Yeah, there's an element of a show to it that takes away the attention from the stand, from the adoration.
Yeah,
of the DJ.
Can you remember Manumission back in the days in Ibiza?
I never went there, but I know of it. Yeah,
yeah, it was kind of the similar sort, little bit more X-rated, but like it was more about the show that was going on rather than the DJ,
the
which
music and the DJ.
it was great. It's just adds something different to the to the kind of dynamics of a club, really.
Yeah, but I think that venue's special. It
Super.
really is special. Did you have any rain issues or anything?
It rained a little bit during my set for like one song, and then Dennis came on, and then it rained like practically all of his set. So
Dennis
Ferreira.
Okay.
So yeah, it was. I don't think it affected anything though. Why did you?
Yeah, well, we had thunderstorms getting quite close, and I think if it got within, I can't remember the mile, but 4 or 6 miles, then we would have been shut down.
Because the night you had that, I was supposed to be playing in Philly, and it got cancelled because of thunderstorms.
Yeah, there was a few shows around New York that got cancelled. We got lucky. The rain stopped about 10 minutes before I went on. I didn't have a drop of rain during my set. It was bad for all the it was bad for all the acts before me, but I got lucky. So, but I don't know, man. It's just that's a special venue. That's one of the best ones in America. So
totally agree. That and Space, maybe.
Yeah,
just both iconic venues that I love.
Yeah, Space is epic too.
Yeah, so. Have you done that recently?
I played that a couple of weeks ago.
How did you do it?
I played that a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
it was great. And I've been unfortunate because I played it just before quarantine, and then once when I came back here, and I've been so unlucky where I've had to actually. Do you know what I played? The first time I played it was right before I did the back-to-back with Fish at the Mirage in 2019. And I had to, because of course you get the opportunity to play a much more extended set, and I had to leave because I played right up until I had to, like the last minute, I had to go to the airport. And then the gig a couple of weeks ago, I had to do exactly the same thing to get the last possible flight to get to a pool party in Atlantic City.
It's such an awful. So, did you sleep beforehand? Did you get sleep? Yeah. So you went in at like 5 a.m. and then played till.
Yeah, I think I went in. I think we went to the club. I think I went on like either 3:30 or 4, and I think finished about 8.
Nice.
So, yeah, and then of course you can go a lot longer, but
I purposely booked my flight at like 8 p.m. the next day. So
that just would have been a dream. I mean, having said that, it's maybe better that there's like a
stop.
There's a stop time, because I don't know. I mean, I just really wonder if I ended up going way longer. I wonder who is this for? I just wonder, is this really for the fans, or is this just me for me to go, oh yeah, I played loads of hours in space. Great job, Chris.
It's purely for our ego. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But it's still
no
fun,
one wants to listen to my shit for that long.
I'm sure there'll be a few stragglers at the end. There's always stragglers at the end. I never forget during WMCs and doing the Dirty Bird party there back in the day. Well, I say back in the day, it was literally like 4 years ago. And yeah, the stragglers at the end were just, it's probably like 50 people on the dance floor by the end.
The club demons.
Yeah, and you're just like, you're in a whole world of bother. Yeah.
And pulling those faces.
Yeah, those classic.
Love you, Will Clark.
But the stupid thing is we were all still there as well for no reason. Like, why do we stay there for that long? It's that FOMO. We're not going to miss out.
Yeah. I don't know. The weird things that happen in clubs.
Have you done any after parties this time round?
Or no, fuck no. Nah. No. Listen, I'm happy to be back, but I'm not saying that we're fully back to normal. All right. So there's a couple of things that I'm struggling with.
Okay, what are these?
One, photos. It's like, I get it, we're back, and we're kind of like almost post-pandemic, but fucking hell, come on. It ain't gone. And you like photo, you know how many times have I told you about fucking dick hands at clubs, when everyone's want to shake your hand.
Yeah.
Chris, we love you. They shake your hand, and like it feels like the hand's just been in like a tub of water from sweat.
Just sweat.
And it's like, you know, that like, come on, me and you, we've been into the bathrooms. You know how guys go to the toilet. They go to the urinal, they take a piss, they don't wash their hands, and then they come and shake your hand. Dirty bastards.
We've all done it, though.
We've all done it. Any of them. I don't know. So that bit, I'm definitely doing less of the like, you know, less of the photos, less of the, you know, going to. I used to, like, every show I'd go to the front of the crowd and take photos and sign things and stuff. I'm doing less of that just now.
I've moved to fist pumps.
Honestly, I just don't feel that comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So
I've moved things to fist pumps. It kind of feels a little bit more hygienic.
Yeah.
But it's probably bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know, but you know, I'm sure that'll change. It's just maybe not it's not the I'm doing, you know, I'm just trying to be more careful. I don't, you know, you can still catch shit. I don't want to catch stuff and have to cancel other shows.
Well, I think that's the thing that I've been more so worrying about, is that like a lot of people around me have got COVID again, or they've been vaccinated and got it. And I'm like, I don't, like, I'm trying to do the maths. If I catch it on the Saturday, does it mean that I can go to the show the next week? Like, I don't really know. And it's like, I don't want to be in a situation where we have to cancel shows again.
Well, exactly. So, you know, that's why kind of, you know, I'm sure a lot of people maybe watching this or listening to this is just thinking, what a fucking dickhead taking that attitude. But I couldn't give a fuck. Fuck you. So it's like, at the end of the day, I'd rather have the ability to play the shows and make people dance and sacrifice that part of it until it feels safer overall. You know, I am being careful though.
I think you've got to be, like, again, we can't be in a situation where we do another year and a half off. You just physically can't do it. Like, it's just not viable. And I think if you still got to take the precautions. Like, I fucking hate wearing a mask. Aeroplanes on a mask. Wearing a mask on an aeroplane.
I'd love to see you wearing a mask. I bet you look like a right dickhead with that beard popping out.
I look like a right dickhead, and the mask doesn't fit because it doesn't go under your chin. So I look like, you know those pretty much look like Claptone in a black beard, in a black mask, because it's just this, like,
you know, your beard is that fucking big. You could wear Borat's green fucking hammock thing, you know, where the bollocks go. That could be around your chin.
Who's Borat?
Are you kidding?
Borat or Borat?
Borat, whatever. Same thing. I'm now pitching you as, like, what's it called? The mankini.
Yeah, the mankini, wearing that.
Just shorten the straps a little bit.
Yeah, give it a go. Yeah, I fucking hate wearing a mask on a plane.
Big beards, and they definitely look weird when they're wearing the mask.
Yeah,
it's not very comfortable for me, but I mean, you know, whatever.
It is what it is, I guess. But
I actually had an idea about this. I was thinking about this the other day.
Dangerous.
I haven't Googled it yet, so I haven't done my market research, but now that everyone's having to wear masks all the time and it's summertime, you know, you're probably noticing this now that you're here. You're wearing a mask. It's hot. You're sweating. We need face deodorant.
Does your face smell?
I'm not saying it smells, but it sweats. We need face antiperspirant.
Yeah, but it's good to sweat.
A mask.
It's healthy to sweat.
All right, but you know, how would you feel if someone said that about their armpits? You'd be thinking,
mate, I'm fucking sweating out of every orifice right now, just sat in this studio. It's fucking disgusting in here.
Anyway, yeah, so face deodorant.
Face deodorant.
That's the next big thing. That's $1 billion.
Have you heard of the claw deodorant?
No.
It's like a deodorant that you put on and it literally stops you from sweating. Like 100% stops your armpits from sweating.
Really?
Yeah, but it makes you sweat everywhere else even more. So it's like kind of a bit counterintuitive, but
it doesn't sound too good.
It seems to work if you don't want to get sweaty pits. How's things going with the label? You've been consistently putting music out.
Great. Yeah. really happy with how we've just kept things going during a pretty uninvigorating time for dance music. You know, the big thing, the big thing that was starkly obvious for me during the time away from events was how damn important these events are for our music, for promoting it, for moving the scene forward musically. It takes, I think it takes invention and new ideas being tried on floors to make things move forward. Because, like, in my opinion, like in dance music, this is probably one of the most stagnant times creatively over this, in my opinion, in the last 18 months for dance music, or anyway, dance music, most of dance music that's on my radar. And I feel like I've noticed not a huge amount of change musically.
Yeah, I think what's happened is people held off so much on their releases, and they're just like, okay, now we can put everything out we made.
Exactly. So, and I completely understand that. But you know, for me, for the label, we didn't hold back. We just kind of like kept going and took the attitude of, well, I completely understand why everyone else is holding back, but let's just keep going. Let's just keep going like
normal.
And I feel like it was for the benefit of the, you know, we tried to make the most of a bad situation, and I'm really happy with what we did with the label. And but yeah, it definitely wasn't what we had planned. You know, I had a lot more plans with events and you know, and helping develop artists through touring, which is at the end of the day what most artists want now. Manager, I've got this on like do not disturb. I don't even know how he's calling me.
Because he's called you like twice.
Are you really desperate to get hold of me? I'm on a podcast right now.
Brett, piss off.
There you go.
See, my manager doesn't call me halfway through a podcast. It's fine, mate.
Yeah, exactly. That's some half-assed shit. He's got my diary. He never knows what's going on in my diary.
He booked it in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
Touring and help bringing artists on.
Yeah, you know, it's. I'm just now going back to the plan that I had, 2 years ago.
I was going to say, when do you think you'll be back to like that plan? Because I know like a lot of it's catch up at this moment in time, right? And it's kind of regrowing things, and kind of a lot of DJs that you've had on the label aren't necessarily in the US and can't travel and things like that. And
yeah, it sucks. We're just trying to just do what we can, just focus on what is in our control. You know, I'm lucky as well. We kept, we didn't lose any team members.
Yeah,
we kept
amazing.
everyone on. That's been a massive, massive benefit.
Yeah,
a massive benefit. I can't emphasize how lucky I feel to have all the people around that I've worked with for, well, most of them predominantly for like the last 5-6 years. And I think it was having that kind of thing, retaining that infrastructure for the label, for my management, for bookings and everything, that allowed things like, well, the shows that I came back to. I don't think they would have happened if I didn't have the team that I had. I wouldn't have been able to take them on. There was just too much work involved.
I think that's the thing that you kind of take on as a boss, really, because you're at the head of the kind of you're pushing all of this forward, but the team kind of make it happen.
I just want to do good parties, make it happen.
But no, but like I think there was a lot of labels, a lot of people that just let everyone go at the beginning of lockdown because they didn't have a clue what was going on. But
I get it. I get that too.
Totally. I financially, like, I totally understand. I wouldn't want to be paying everyone's wages for God knows how long and not knowing when it's going to come back. I totally get that. But I think what you've done is you've been very consistent during the lockdown with the brand and kind of changing things up. So going really hard on merchandise, like for a period of time that
that
maybe
you, fuck all else.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe you wouldn't have done that beforehand, if you know what I mean. Maybe
No,
that.
no. Well, I don't actually think the focus would have been. I don't think people would have noticed that. You know, when you've got more going on, you've got less opportunity to focus on one thing that's being, you know, pushed. But yeah, we didn't have much else going on. Truth be known, I didn't work that much during. You know, like I said, I didn't work that much during the whole of lockdown. My team helped a lot of things keep moving forward in the absence of me not doing shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I did have records from before. I finished up a couple of bits. I think that the only stuff that I really worked on, I did the finishing touches on the Armand EP, but most of that was done. It was just finishing touches. So, you know, just back and forth with Armand to try and get that wrapped up. I did the Mian remix, Josemont re-edit. I didn't do much else.
Yeah.
I don't think did I release anything that I wrote last year? I don't think I did. I mean, honestly, even now, I'm still trying to warm up to writing the way that right into the standard that I hold myself to. It ain't happening right now.
Yeah, I was just talking on another podcast. I wrote so much during lockdown that I'm the opposite, when now I'm like, I have to take time out because I want to not write the same shit that I've been writing for the last year and a half. And this is like the first time in probably my whole career that I haven't written music for myself for like easily 3 months. And it's strange.
Enjoy it though.
It's strange, man. But did you get to a point where you're like,
you know, you're probably re-upping, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah, we didn't stop releasing at all, like throughout the whole of it. And it definitely dropped off streaming wise, but
yeah, but I think people's, I think a lot of that's down to the change of people's behavior. I mean, like, honestly, is our music the best stuff to be listening to when you're not going out? Fuck no.
I didn't go on Beatport until the 2 days before my first show, for the first time in the whole of lockdown, to buy music.
Yeah.
Sorry, Beatport.
Yeah, I have a to-do list that I run off, and you know, that's like my life. Just live by just ticking off things off the to-do list. Have the most important thing at the top. Make sure you're clearing it off. That's how I stay productive. At the top of that, organized record box. I had that for 18 months.
Still not done.
Did I do it? No, I ignored it every single day. And when I went back and I did that first gig, by fuck could you tell that I had not organized that record box, because shit was all over the place. It was horrendous.
I've got really bad OCD, so as I do it, I organize it. So mine, I opened mine back up and I was like, wow, it looks pretty good. The thing that I had an issue with was the USB sticks. I didn't have enough memory on the USB sticks. So then I bought bigger USB sticks. I was just being a right stingy cunt and didn't get the expensive ones.
Wow, they're so cheap now as well. It's crazy how cheap they are.
Yeah, but I got like
you were really taking stingy to a new level.
I took stingy to a new level. I got 500 gig, but the write speed, the write-in time was like
500 gig. That's huge.
Yeah,
are you kidding?
My record box is like 300 gig. Yeah, I travel with all of my music all the time.
Really?
Yeah, just in case I
Fuck that.
Just in case I do space sets for 12 hours.
Fucking, what, just in case you do space sets for 12 days.
Yeah, literally. No, because I always play stuff from like 2014.
Go on your record box and go down the bottom. Tell me how long it says. You know, doesn't it tell you at the bottom how long, like if you played all the songs continuously, how much time of music that you've got?
I think
was that
so.
iTunes?
No, I think it does. The collection. Let me log in.
I want to
No,
know.
it doesn't.
It's an iTunes thing, isn't it?
Playlists, 241 gig, 163 lists.
Are you playing WAVs or MP3s?
Yeah, AIFF.
Okay, cool. Well, that's a bit better. Yeah, because I'm the same, and I think I'm like 120 or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I bought these shit USB sticks, and on the first show back, it took so long for them to load, and I was like, "Oh my god, what have I done? Like, my music's not gonna load." So then I had to. I'm now playing off I play off a hard drive now, like a SSD hard drive, and it's game changer.
Like an SSD one.
Yeah, absolute game changer.
Yeah, I've heard they're really good.
Like, it writes, you know, like when you have to do record box for the first time on a new USB stick, it takes ages, and you're like all day long.
Is it like this one?
Pretty similar to that, yeah.
Yeah. I just got this for backing up.
But it literally took like 10 minutes to put my whole record box on the hard drive, and I was
Not
like,
bad.
Yeah,
that first upload is pretty horrendous.
Shit, but
the USB.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. I'm so fucking sweaty. It's ridiculous. What have you got coming up then in the future?
That's a great question, Will. What do I have coming up?
You just announced your Shrine show.
Do you know what I'm doing? I'm intentionally doing a fold here, so then you don't see the stain.
Mate, we saw it when it fell and everything.
I know, but you know, if you're doing a clip or whatever, there you go. You'll never know. So what have I got coming up in the future? I've got a few shows. When's this going out?
2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
A week. You just announced the Shrine show, right?
Yeah, we're redoing the Shrine show. So
are you doing mostly big shows, or are you doing club stuff as well?
Yeah, it's really great way to not be stressful. You know what though? I've been so lucky. I've had a really, really good run of shows. I've been like, you know, going from having massive apprehension about what people thought about my music, if there was ever any connection to it anymore, and if people would still want to come see me, to now going and doing these shows, it's quite a swing, because I definitely I had major question marks over myself.
How does it?
My music.
How does it feel like because I'm just thinking, like, I know you. Well, I didn't know you personally, but I know your music from Changes days to then the like more EDM days to now what Chris Lake is. How does it feel to have like done, like, you've almost had 3 careers as Chris Lake?
Well, I feel like I could have done it a much easier way. You know what though? I am I'm proud. I'm proud of how it's all turned out, because you know, I tried really fucking hard to make it work and try and figure it all out, you know. I would say there were 2 periods of time where I was getting it right. At the beginning and now. Yeah. And then in the middle, there was a period where I was not getting it right. And I would put that down to, well, there's a few reasons, but firstly, the reason that I put it down to, and it's like you talked about it, it's like the EDM days. So when I first came out to America and I started getting like more drawn into like big room stuff, and this is the way the scene was going, everything, like loads of genres and stuff just stopped working, and the EDM thing just took over. And it coincided with a time where I was losing confidence in what I was doing. I was losing confidence in where the industry was going. And most importantly, I started listening to other people's opinions about what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And that was the worst thing that I ever did in my career, because it's the only time I ever did it in my career.
Yeah.
And it's the only period of time that left me with feelings of regret, essentially. Regret of decisions that I made and what I did. And I can't really say that I fully regret it, but I don't regret it. It's definitely like, I definitely could have made better decisions at the time. But yeah, I got pulled into, I got influenced, and I allowed myself to be influenced. That's completely on me. And but the key was I recognized it pretty quickly, and was determined to change that. So I think that was about, I don't know what year it was, but maybe 8 years ago. I think it's maybe 8 years ago. And I just decided, you know what, I can't let where I'm at be this kind of like musical legacy that I have and how I get remembered.
Yeah.
So I looked at it like, fuck, how am I gonna, you know, I'd had big records as well, you know, it's sort of like, how the fuck am I going to, how the fuck am I going to change the perception of me and who I am? Now, don't get me wrong. If I was producing under my alias, if I was producing under an alias, I would have given less of a shit. I would have just been like, fuck it, drop it. I made a cock up of it. I'll start something new, and here we go. But
it's your name.
It's my name. I am my real name is Chris Lake.
It's the same for me.
And I you know, I care mostly about what I think, but I do care about what other people think in relation to what I've created.
Yeah.
You know, it's a reality. You know, I do want people to enjoy it. I don't care if people don't like it, but at the end of the day, I want to feel comfortable that I still would like things to connect. And I realized that the only way that I was going to change the perception of me was just to like claw it back to figure out what the best parts of me were, how to present it to people in the best possible way, do the best possible job of, you know, making music and getting it to connect, and also somehow get it to be more popular than the stuff from before. Yeah. And it was really hard. And I definitely got fortunate along the way, but this is where, you know, my team comes in as well. Yeah, and totally. Brett, the guy that was just calling me, you know, I just started working with Brett when we round about that period when I decided that I need to right this ship, you know, right the direction of the ship. And Brett and I spent months and months just trying to understand each other and be on the same page and understand what, you know, how do I put it? Just try to get an understanding of what I can do, what I should be doing, how I should be approaching things, what my goals were. And then we got to work, and it was a fuck ton of work. One of them was getting out of a record deal that I was in, a major record deal. That took many years. That was really quite difficult. But then I got out of it, created Black Book, and that's when things really took off.
Yeah,
that's when things really took off. Around the time, oh, you remixed it. Around the time I released Operator.
Yeah.
That was a real turning point for me.
That was a turning point for me, for you, where I was like, oh shit, Chris is back doing not what I knew.
Connected.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, I haven't heard from Chris for years, but this is a big statement piece.
Yeah, and it you know, and it worked, and then it was just able to build off the back of it, you know, afterwards. And but the key thing was and this is something that I never really had before that. I felt like I actually had like a much better connection with my fans and with my audience. I felt like I understood them better. I understood who my audience was.
Yeah.
I never really had that before.
Why do you think that was though?
I think it's just a difference in the times. I think I looked at things a little bit different. Social media made a big difference too.
Massively.
Just seeing instant reactions to what you're doing, hearing what people are saying about you.
But your social media was big before.
It was different though.
Yeah.
It was different. Take this for example. I toured in Brazil for years, and but in Brazil, the social networks that were getting used out there were not the social networks that were getting used in the West.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what people were saying about me. I don't know. I had no idea how much people were saying things about me.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on. The only thing that I knew was when I spoke to like the promoter who, could read a couple of things and, give me a bit of feedback and say, yeah,
they like it.
People like you or something.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. That's basically it. A summary from someone. But I had nothing to read. There was nothing to get. There was no stats or anything. Nothing to gauge. I didn't have any understanding of my fan base. But there was little things that the little things that changed now, like Brazilians using Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. But this is the key one: the translation button.
Yeah.
Being able to actually physically just click a translate and see what people are saying about you and understanding what your audience thinks and what they're
do you read all your comments and stuff?
I read some.
Yeah.
I don't read all of them, but I see what people are saying. After shows, I'll go on and have a look at what the feedback is.
Yeah.
Like see how much people are calling me a cunt.
It's the one thing that I think that in our kind of industry, because like I listen to like podcasts with comedians and stuff like that, and they get so much shit from people online, and I don't know about you, but I very rarely get any shit from anyone. Maybe like one or two occasionally, but it's very minimal.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty lucky. I mean, for the most part, it's pretty good. I think I get the odd really bad one.
Really?
I do get some pretty bad ones.
Really?
Honestly. Yeah. I've had some horrendous ones.
Go on, like what?
Death threats and stuff like this.
Really?
Yeah. You get some like heavy shit stuff said about like you get some heavy fucking shit. It's horrible, but it's not. It's like it's not. Not as often as you'd think. Yeah. Well, not as often as like as good comments. But there's some fucking horrible people out there.
Oh, there are
some real problems.
They're wankers, a lot of them. How did you find it moving to America from being from the UK and like shit like that? Because you've been here a long time now.
Oh, it's easy, mate. Because we're English and we know everything.
You're Scottish, aren't you?
Yeah. Was that?
You're Scottish, aren't you?
Don't you start. I'm English. But I lived in Scotland. So I lived in Scotland for. Hang on, but let's go back to that last comment. Yeah. I was evidently joking.
He wasn't. Real twats.
Yeah. How was it? How was it adjusting? Well, I've been touring out here for a little while, so I had some familiarity with it. And I came out to LA and did a few like test stays, should we say. I did like 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months, and then ended up coming out and moving properly. And I loved it.
Yeah.
The big thing that I like about the big difference that I like with America, and you'll understand this, I think we've talked about this before as well. Whether, what's the best way to put this? Whether it's true or authentic or not, in America, the words that are said to you are predominantly glass half full.
Yeah.
There's a lot more positivity in the words that are said.
Yeah.
Whether they're authentic or not, that's another question. But, you know, when you go and have a conversation with someone and they've said nice things, you walk away and you're like, oh, they said nice things. And it leaves you feeling a lot nicer. In the UK, and this isn't the rule, but I would say more often than not, we're a little bit more glass half empty. We're quite a pessimistic bunch, and in particular in music as well, very opinionated.
Yeah.
And it can feel quite negative. And I felt the negativity. Maybe I'm just a sensitive soul.
No, I feel that.
But I liked the positivity. I liked the positivity and the vibe of the people in the scene. I fed off of it. It made me feel good. And I like feeling good more than I like feeling bad.
Yeah, totally. Do you still, because I don't know about you, but I still feel like I am like, oh, of course I'm a foreigner, but like being here, even like every time I get to a new city, I'm like, this feels like I don't know how to really explain the feeling, but it's almost like I'm on holiday all the time. Like I live here and I go to the gym, but even going to the gym feels like I'm on holiday because it's not England, if that makes sense. Do you get that feeling?
Yeah, of course.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's America. This is the shit that we used to see on the movies.
That's it, isn't it? Although when I went home, one of my sister's kid said to my sister, we need to take the trash out. And I was like, you absolutely have to stop talking like that. You cannot. And I was like, how did you even learn that? Because we don't say trash in the UK. And he was like, YouTube.
Yeah. My niece is 9 now. And I can't believe how American she sounds. She shouldn't. Like where she lives, you should have the most horrendous accent.
Where are they living?
In the northeast of Scotland. It's proper rural, and you know.
You need the
her dad's accent. My brother-in-law's accent is challenging.
You need the Instagram. you need the Instagram translation button next to him all the time.
It's heavy. Yeah. It's heavy. I understand him, but I think my wife, she kind of understands him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's difficult. But anyway, yeah, these you know, I think that American media, it does influence
definitely
Western kids.
It's funny when I tell people Americans to watch Peaky Blinders on Netflix, and they're like, I have to fucking put the subtitles on because I can't understand them. I was like,
watch Peaky Blinders so you can sound like Chris Lorenzo.
Don't, people. It's the worst.
You know, have you noticed that? When was the last time you spoke to Loz?
I haven't spoke to him since June last year. So, I've spoke online, but not in person, not on the phone.
He's been out here for 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
And if you remember, you'll remember like the thing that he would always say, "Trust me."
Yeah.
Trust me. It's a proper Brummy thing. Like Jack Grealish says it all the time. Yeah. The Aston Villa player, and he stopped saying it. He stopped. Like Gita has him saved in the phone as "Trust me," but he's actually stopped saying it since he came out here. So, and now he goes, "Wow." Wow.
So American.
Yeah, he does all these little he's picked up all these Americanisms. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, when I went back home and now came back here, I've had friends where they're like, your English accent has got so much stronger than what it was like when they initially knew me from living out here. And I guess it does. I've been in Somerset as well. Like, it's not the most intelligent people around there. It's just
that won't make the cut.
No, not the most intelligent sounding people. Let's use that one. But yeah, I don't know. Do you miss the UK?
I'm still thinking about that last comment you made. Yeah, I miss my family. I miss my family and, friends and no, I don't miss the UK. I'm not particular. I love visiting it. I can't say I can't say I miss it. I don't really miss it anywhere, to be honest.
Same, yeah.
But I I love visiting. I love being British and
being part of it.
And just that just how fucked up it makes us be, it just makes it difficult for Americans to truly understand us.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Because we just say something and they're just like,
is that a joke? Or what?
Huh?
Yeah.
Really? Are you serious? Yes.
Very serious.
Yes, I am.
Talking of Brits and Chris Lorenzo, what's going on with Anti-Up?
We're being the slowest at finishing up an album. It's pretty much done.
It's been pretty much done for about a year and a half, though, mate.
Well, no, not really. No. So we were meant to write it at the beginning of last year, then COVID hit. And, I mean, Loz he's a mile and a half down the road from me, and I only started seeing him a couple of months ago. So because we had to fully isolate here because we had a an immunocompromised relative. So we've only really just got going, but we're not really going. Like in the studio, it's not. We've done some stuff. We're happy with it, but it's we're not firing on all cylinders. It's definitely not turned out the way it should have.
Yeah.
But whatever, it'll be done when it's done.
There's no rush, I guess.
There's no rush. There's no panic. I'm not sweating over it. But I will say this. I am really proud of what we've done on the project. So I am excited for people to hear it. Just
some of the stuff that you sent sounded great, especially the one with Sion from Audio Buddies.
Yeah,
I love that.
We've mixed that now, so
yeah,
it's feeling a bit good.
It's a nice feeling, isn't it? Because when you've written something that's not what you usually write, really, it's kind of a little. It's not Chris Lake music, is it?
No.
It's festival
and
stuff.
You know what? It might be what makes it successful, or it might be why it just never gets off the ground. I don't care though. I'm happy.
Well, that's the thing.
Very happy.
That's the thing. I think you're in an amazing position where it doesn't have to do well. You can just purely be an insular artist and just concentrate on making fucking great music for that project.
Yeah. So, the thing that Loz and I say is like, we're lucky that we both have really strong solo careers, and we do this project not because we need to, but because we want to. And that sounds like you'll get this because you understand the industry, but like just that statement there is not as common as you'd think it should be.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of people want things to be successful because they need it to be successful.
Yeah.
And you'll make very different decisions because of it, but if you don't, if your needs are from something else, and for me and for Loz, it's from the nourishment of the creativity and like the connection to what we're making. It's a pretty unbelievable place to be in my opinion anyway. So
I think for me it was like the best. It was that turning point for me when I realized like I have to actually just enjoy what I'm doing rather than look at how to make money out of this and what do I need to do to make money. It's like, well, hang on a minute, let's actually just write music I enjoy, and then if I make money out of it and it's successful, then sweet. But I think when I had that mindset, that's when it became the most successful.
Yeah. probably because it was without you realizing it, the most authentic as well.
Yeah, totally.
No.
Not trying to write bangers.
Well, yeah, and that leads me back to sort of the way that I approach things with when I kind of how do I explain it? When I went back to the drawing board, essentially, with my career. And that's what it was about. It was about my connection with the music first. Like this is the thing. I see a lot of people talking about artists playing their music and stopping playing their music when once it's released. Fuck that.
Fuck no.
Fuck that. You know what? I'm not ashamed to say it. I love my music. That's the way the music that I put out. I'm fucking proud of it.
Yeah,
I'm proud of it. If I'm putting it out, I'm proud of it.
You're proud of.
I'll play it.
You're proud of the music right now that you're putting out.
Yeah.
And what about the old stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud. I'm proud of most of my stuff. Honestly, even like the I'm proud of all of it. I am proud of all of it. It's like some of it's not as cool as it should be.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of what I've done. So
because for me, it's
in particular, say like the last 8 years.
Yeah.
No, I'd say the last 6 years. Okay, I can pretty much go and play any song that I've produced in the last 6 years and play it at any of my shows and feel like, I did a good job on this.
Yeah,
I like that.
Because for me, it's like there's certain music I've stopped playing that I've produced, like my old Dirty Bird stuff. I don't really play that, and it's not because I don't like it; it's because it just doesn't fit with what I do anymore. But yeah, I could probably.
It's just like a lot of my stuff as well. A lot of it doesn't fit, but then sometimes I'll be playing. I'm like,
that's when I need to play it.
Yeah.
And when it works, because no one's expecting it, it's actually a really great feeling. Because it's what people want to hear at the end of the day.
And I don't mind doing that. And it's so I think with that said, I've been thinking about this a lot. I just wonder if I'm still a DJ.
Totally.
I feel like less of a DJ than I once was, because the truth is, I will play my own stuff. I feel like a huge proportion of my set kind of explains itself to me. There are songs that I'm definitely going to play in my set. So it's what I feel around it. And then sometimes that leaves me feeling like, am I just, I'm less of like the DJ. I don't, I did used to go and turn up and play maybe one or two of my songs.
Yeah.
And that was it in a 2-hour set. And I think if I did that now with the kind of expectation that I built up with my crowd of what I will do, that I am prepared to play my own music, I think I'd get fucking lynched.
I think you have to. I think it's true. It's true. It's not. You don't go pay you don't buy a ticket to see the Rolling Stones and then play a bunch of Beatle records or a bunch of Bob Marley records. Although that would be fucking great. Like that's not what you pay for. If you pay to see a Chris Lake show, you pay for Chris Lake music. You don't pay for anything else.
Yeah. And I like doing it, and I you know what, I kind of it's gonna take years and years and years and years of playing those songs to even catch up with the amount of times I've already heard those songs anyway. And I'm not, I've managed up to this point listening to those fucking loops over and over again. I think I can cope. Still listening to them for the next few years.
I agree, man.
I remember this. I remember when I going back to the old record Changes. I was out in Australia, and I was on tour, and I was with Sébastien Léger.
Legend. I love his stuff now as well.
Yeah, he's really hit his stride on this new stuff, and I just remember dropping Changes, and he just turned to me and he was like, you know you're gonna have to play that every single set for the next 5 years. and I remember when he said it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But now I kind of like, I don't know, I don't mind, because I'm making music I'm truly happy with. So.
I think DJing
I was truly happy with changes as well, but like, not the vocal version, but the instrumental I was. So.
What's wrong with the vocal version?
Well, that was a whole.
Was that a major record label thing?
Major record label. That was my first major record thing, and I got,
done over.
No, I didn't get done over. At the end of the day, I just, I was young and impressionable, and you'll remember this as well. Back in that period, strong instrumental records, would get revocaled.
Yeah, all of them.
That doesn't really happen that much anymore. But like,
well, because there's not really many strong instrumental records that do well nowadays, as how they used to. Like, most of the records that do really well have a vocal.
So that's what happened. I got pressured to.
When was the last big instrumental record? Rebuke. Along Came Polly.
No, I've got no idea.
Tenors. Before he got cancelled.
For being a prick.
Yeah. It's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a different industry then. But anyway, I kind of, that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that was a while ago.
Well, you see that for British people, they'll remember that song for being the song on Sky Sports Football.
I didn't know that. I never watched football. Was it on there?
Yeah, it was for the what was the, I can't remember. Yeah, it was just basically the intro music for a whole year for the Premier League football.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty epic.
Yeah, that's amazing. Dude, we just did 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Sorry.
It's fine. I would go on forever, but I'm fucking so hot in here.
I can actually see the rosiness in your cheeks.
It's really hot in here. Let's wrap this motherfucker up. Thanks for being on, man. Really appreciate it.
Easy. Nothing easier than talking.
Exactly. It's the best. When will I see you again? It's a famous song, I think.
That one, the festival in
Elements.
East Coast Elements.
Yeah.
I was going to say the one with the fire.
I've never played that show.
I've
never played that one. Should be good fun.
You're gonna have a great time there. It's a really nice vibe. They've got it's just. I think I've played that festival twice now, and then they were doing an event as well. I don't know whether they still are, but they were doing one in Brooklyn, in New York,
in the warehouse. Yeah, that's crazy, that one.
I think you'll have a lot of fun. It's just a bit of a bitch to get there.
Yeah, it should be fun though. How can people follow you, buy tickets, and all that lot?
I just realised you asked me quite a lot of questions and I didn't really answer any of them. We just went off on a load of them. What have I got coming up? Thanks for asking, Will.
No worries, mate.
So I never answered that question. I've got some shows.
Yeah.
Which you could Google, because Google's pretty clever at that shit and tell you what's going on. I've got some music coming out. I'm trying to figure out the release date for this song with Grimes. So
it's gonna be big.
I previewed it on my Instagram, and it might have been the worst thing I ever did, because I have not stopped getting fucking messages about that song ever since, and I don't have a release date. It's been pretty bad.
Did they turn up? Did her and Elon turn up?
Oh no.
Motherfuckers.
So, didn't turn up. But I think they're going to. I think Grimes is going to come to
Shrine.
She wants to come see the show, the track going off. So.
When is the Shrine? When is Shrine?
End of the month, end of August.
What? Do you know the date?
27th, 28th.
I really want to come to one of them. I haven't been to any of your big shows, so I really want to try and come.
Please come along.
28th.
Will you be free? Will you be free?
I'm in LA the next day playing Day Trip, but I think I've got a show the night before. let me know. I'll have a look at your dates and I'll try and come to one.
If you're free the week before, I'm playing in San Francisco at the Frost Amphitheater. Okay. Have you seen that place?
No.
It is beautiful.
Really?
It is absolutely beautiful. 8,000 people in this grass-filled amphitheater surrounded by trees. It's beautiful. I cannot wait to play this one.
Yeah, I'll see if I can make it happen. I really want to come to them. They look amazing, man. So congrats.
And then the week before that, probably when this podcast comes out, is the one with Fish in Denver. That'll be
Ballroom, right?
No, it's an outdoor thing. Okay. It's gonna be quite big.
Where is it? Don't worry, Google it, people.
Sorry, I know you're dying, Pete.
It's fine.
Fuck it.
Need to lose some weight.
Denver. Fuck off. You need to lose some weight. Yeah, maybe you do with all that candy you eat.
I need to sort my training out.
Denver Coliseum.
It's going to be good.
Sounds grand, doesn't it?
It's going to be good.
Denver Coliseum, there's probably a car park right outside it.
Full of works.
Yeah, well,
mate.
All right, well,
good to catch up.
Thank you.
No, thank you for coming on.
Splash some cold water on your face.
I'm literally going to, bollock naked.
I'm going to go and wash the stain out of my
expensive
my top from the protein shake.
Oof. Right, mate, keep safe. Send my love to Geeta. Hope you're well, man.
All
keep
right.
safe. Take care.
All right, speak soon. Bye.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for listening. Big ups to Chris for coming on. Have a great week. Keep safe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Send it to your mates. Send it to your parents. Whatever. Keep safe. Have a great one.